Hey there, friends. Welcome to Dear Vana, where I address your questions and concerns about self-love and relationships. And more importantly, I discuss how to have a healthy relationship with yourself. So I am your host and personal self-love development coach, Shavonna Nicole. If you are new here, again, welcome, and please consider subscribing, as I'd love to have you on a regular basis. Now, in today's episode, we have a question from Keisha, and y'all, it is really a good one. I think you all will really be able to relate to this one. So I am so excited to share it with you today. Let's get right to it. Again, today's question comes from Keisha, and Keisha asked, Dear Vana, I just broke up with my boyfriend and it is really getting to me. We have been together for 5 years and I really thought that he was the one. I honestly didn't plan on dating again after him, but I could just not take any more of his crap and I had to end it. You would think that I would be happy about it, but I'm not. And I just can't stop thinking about what we could have had or getting upset about how he treated me and messed things up. How do I get over this relationship? Wow. Thank you, Keisha, for writing in. I know that breakups are not easy. So I understand you wanted help and wanted to move on. And unfortunately, I do have quite a bit of experience with this subject. So I do have some suggestions for you, and hopefully they work out for you like they did for me. So let's get right to it. And we are back. So first, I want to start off by saying that breakups are not always easy. They just aren't, especially when you've invested time and energy and, families are involved, etc. So, in 5 years for you, like that's not a short amount of time at all. You had plans together, you have a lot of memories together. So losing this relationship is just like losing anything else that you've invested, your time and energy into, and you have the right to grieve or mourn just like any other loss, just like losing someone to death or someone close to you moving away or losing a best friend, a pet, whatever. Like it is okay to be upset about it. It's okay to go through the whole grieving process, just like you would grieve any other loss. So, don't be too hard on yourself and saying like I should be celebrating and I should be happy, because that's just not realistic for a lot of reasons and for a lot of people. So that being said, my first step in this recovery from not a bad relationship, but any relationship, is acknowledge your feelings. Like be honest, transparent with yourself. If you're sad, you're sad. And it's okay to say that. If you are mad, if you're furious, pissed off, disappointed, whatever, like it's okay. And so just be honest with yourself and acknowledge that, because if you suppress how you really feel and try to put on a facade, it can end up biting you in the butt later on down the line. And again, if we're talking about healthy relationships, that starts with yourself. So don't lie to yourself about how you feel. You don't owe anyone else an explanation. So if other people ask how you're doing, you don't have to, give them the details if you don't want, but at least be honest with yourself. And so in doing that, find a way to express that emotion. So whether it's just journaling, whether it's exercising, letting out a lot of frustration, whether it's painting, if that's your thing, or listening to music all day, if that's your thing, but find a way to express that emotion. So you might see on the movies all the time and people just like binge eating or eating snacks and watching sad movies, whatever. Again, if it's just going to be for a day or two, that's fine. But as far as like binge eating and stuff like that, but find preferably a healthy way of expressing that emotion. And so, again, step one is to acknowledge how you feel and just be completely honest with yourself so that you can start the process of healing and truly moving on. Now, the next step in getting over a relationship or recovering from a breakup is to now that you've acknowledged your feelings, release it and release it in love. So releasing it can look different for different people, whether it's forgiveness, forgiving yourself for, sometimes a lot of people might say, I shouldn't have even put up with it this long. How did I even let the relationship go on this long? Or why didn't I see the type of person this was, et cetera, et cetera. So forgiving yourself, forgiving the person, and just releasing that relationship, period. And what that does is allows you or positions you to be able to receive that perfect match that is for you. So if you hold on to it, you could be holding on to resentment and holding on to all those memories, what could have been, what should have been, and all those other negative memories or those thoughts that create negative emotions. And when you're holding on to that, again, you're not in a receptive state to really release, to really accept any other true forms of love. It's just not healthy to hold on to that stuff, period. If you don't want to forgive that person, you're not there yet, at least forgive yourself. And again, the relationship is over. It might, who knows? It might not be over forever. Maybe that things turn around and, in a different space and time, it might come back together and come back better than the last time. Who really knows? But you have to release it. You don't want to hold on to resentment or any negativity regarding this relationship. So, again, this is my suggestion and just from experience, just releasing it, letting it go. And again, that positions you to be able to accept the person that is truly meant for you. So, again, step 2 is release, release, and with love. All right, so now we're on to step 3, and step 3 is to reflect. Now, this is the chance you have to, again, be honest with yourself and reflect on this relationship. So I want you to take 2 pieces of paper. I think that should be good. And on one paper, title it Ideal Relationship or Ideal Partner. And set that to the side. And then on your separate sheet of paper, make 2 columns. On one side, I take that back. Make it 3 columns. How about that? So in the first column, write down the list of qualities that you enjoyed from this relationship. So whether that person was thoughtful or they were really fun to be around, you can even put physical traits on this list, but whatever you enjoyed about the relationship or about that person, put that there. Okay. In the second column, put down everything that was not so great about them. So, if they were not dependable, if they were a cheater, if they, I don't know, maybe they didn't have a career that really vibed with you. Who knows? But whatever those negative characteristics are that were a turn off for you or that you really just don't want in your next relationship, put those down in column 2. Now, column 3 is the opposite from column 2. So for example, if you put that they were a cheater in column 2, in column 3, you will put the opposite of that, which is faithful, right? If they weren't dependable, then you will put dependable in column 3. Does that make sense? Hopefully so. So easy enough. So you're going to have the 3 columns, the things you liked, the things you didn't like, and the things that you want going forward. Essentially, that's what those 3 columns should look like. And I want you to take the attributes, the characteristics, personality traits, whatever you want to call them, from column 1 and column 3, and put them on your ideal list, that other first sheet of paper that I explained. Put them all there and put a big X over the second column, right? We're going to X that out, put it in a big black marker, scribble it all out. And so everything from column 1 and 3 should be on that ideal list. And that is going to prepare you for step 4. So hopefully this is another way for you to kind of express your emotions and get some things out. But we are going to now move on to the final step, which is step 4. We are at the 4th and final step, y'all. So this is where it gets really fun and interesting, or at least it's fun for me. You might hear in a lot of my episodes that I talk about visualization. It is definitely important, and as far as setting the tone for what you want and for you to put you in the perfect position you to receive the things that you really want out of life. So let me just get right to it. Okay, so step 4 is visualize and affirm. Okay, so you're going to take that list that you created from step 3 and of your ideal partner, of your ideal mate, and you're going to use this to visualize this person. Okay, so you're going to visualize this person being thoughtful and considerate and romantic. I don't know. Those are some of the things on my list. But whatever you have on your list, you're going to use that to visualize. Now, daily would be nice, but preferably like when you're in a relaxed state, like maybe when you first get up in the morning or before you go to sleep at night, or even if you're having a bad day at work or whatever, this should be your getaway where you're just going to visualize this perfect person. Okay? Because we released all the other stuff, right? And now we know what we want, essentially. So this should put a smile on your face and get you going in the right direction. And then you're going to affirm. And so with this list, you can create affirmations saying, I'm worthy of respect in a relationship. I'm worthy of true love. I am worthy of finding my perfect mate. And you can put some of those characteristics, those specific characteristics that you put down on your paper, or you can leave it general. But you should definitely be affirming that you're worthy of moving on and you're worthy of the things that you really want and you're capable of getting them. You know, sometimes we hold on to some of the negative relationships or toxic relationships because you think that, you're too old or no, who's going to want you, or, this person would have been perfect if, and all these other things. So this is where you're going to throw all of that out the window and really acknowledge this is where a healthy self-love comes into place. Because when you truly love yourself, you know your capabilities and you believe that you're worthy of all good things. So here you can make a list of however many affirmations you like, but you should make it a habit of affirming good things for yourself and telling yourself that you're beautiful, you're loving, You're worthy of love. You are desirable, and this is how you kind of retrain your mind from thinking about the other stuff. And so this is very important in the moving on phase, and to have emotional stability. You might hear me talk a lot about that too. So emotional stability is being able to create happiness whenever you want, at the drop of a dime. And now that you have this list, hopefully it's making you happy. So this is the final step that you cannot forget. Please do not forget. So visualize and affirm. And now you have a huge head start on moving forward and getting over that breakup and not feeling bad about it, right? Because at the end of the day, it helped you to really pinpoint and identify more things that you really want in a relationship. And now you've let it go so you can actually get what you really want and not settle for a negative relationship or not the perfect one. You have cleared your plate so you can receive more. All right, so hopefully that has been helpful for you, and we are going to wrap this up. Hey, y'all. So I just like to summarize everything that we covered today. Thanks again to Keisha for this great topic. And the question again was, how do I get over a relationship or a breakup? And so just to recap, step 1 was to acknowledge your feelings, and step 2 was to release that person, that relationship with love. Step 3 was to reflect, and step 4 was to visualize and affirm. So hopefully that was helpful for you, Keisha, and for all of you listening. Again, it was definitely helpful for me, and just to remember how much I love visualizing the future and affirming, and just how this really is a helpful process, like for real, y'all. So hopefully you got something from it, and I hope you're hanging in there with me and enjoying this podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode today. It was very enjoyable for me. Hey everyone. So if today was helpful for you again at all, I would love to have your feedback. I would love to hear from you. Let me know how this helped you through your breakup, or just any information that you found helpful. And then, if you are still going through some things and you'd like me to answer it on the show, or you just want to hear from me directly, then send me an email to dearvana@ShavonnaNicole.com. You can also find the information in the box below. But again, I would love to hear from you. If you'd like to work with me, you can also hit me up at dearvana@ShavonnaNicole.com. I can't wait to hear from you. I really want to thank everyone for tuning in today. It was such a pleasure to share with you. It definitely was. If you've gained anything or learned anything from today's episode, please do subscribe. I'd love to have you join me regularly. And also, if you would like your question answered on this show, Dear Vana, email me with the information provided in the description. So until next time, friends, this is your host and personal self-love development coach, Shavonna Nicole, reminding you to please practice self-love, as it is your superpower. Talk to everyone soon. Bye now.